Hello friends, welcome back to our video lecture series on course title Fluid Mechanics 2. In this lecture we are going to discuss some numericals which are based on some previous discussion like say specific energy and depth discharge diagram or what we have discussed previously, channel transition. So let's start. The first numerical is a specific energy for a channel is for 3 meter wide channel is 3 Newton meter per Newton. What would be the possible maximum discharge? So what they are given, only two things is given. The first one is the width of channel, B is equal to 3 meter, and second one is the specific energy, 3 Newton meter per Newton. That is, this Newton get cancelled. So this energy is measured in terms of head, that is meter. Now if I want to compute maximum possible discharge, we should know when there will be a maximum discharge. We know that discharge will be maximum when my energy is minimum. So by using this same condition, we can simply compute our discharge. So what is the E minimum? E minimum is the specific energy, value of specific energy when depth is critical. Now in terms of critical depth, we can simply write down the equation for E minimum is equal to 3 by 2 multiplied by YC, where YC is the critical depth. We might have used some different notation for this Y. Sometime I have used this H to represent depth of flow, sometime I have used this Y, but keep in mind that H and Y and D all are the same. Those are going to represent the depth of flow, and if I am writing this YC or HC, so all those are going to represent the critical depth. So don't be confused with that. So I can simply compute here critical depth because I already have width of the channel B. So if I am computing this YC and velocity at critical depth, I can simply compute my critical discharge, that is the maximum discharge, maximum possible discharge. So this YC can be computed by using equation of E minimum, which is given by 3 by 2 multiplied by AC. So YC will be equal to 2 by 3 multiplied by E minimum. So I can simply compute here YC is equal to 2 meter. Now maximum discharge will be given by B multiplied by YC multiplied by VC, where VC is the velocity at the critical section or at the critical depth. So it can be computed as under root of G multiplied by YC, because this has been derived from the Froude-Numbers equation. Fr is equal to V upon under root of GYC at critical depth. Value of Froude number is equal to 1. So we can simply compute here VC is equal to 4.43 meter per second, and after computing that we can simply compute the maximum possible discharge is 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 4.43, that is given by 26.58 meter cube per second for the given specific energy, that is 3 Newton meter per Newton, and width of channel is 3 meter. Hope you understood this numerical. Let's proceed to the another one. A trapezoidal channel has bottom width of 6 meter and side slopes of 2 horizontal to 1 vertical. What is given? The bottom width of the trapezoidal channel is given as 6 meter and side slopes are given 2 horizontal, that is 2 horizontal and 1 is vertical. If the depth of flow is 1.2 meter at discharge of 10 meter cube per second, compute the specific energy and critical depth. So what we need to compute? We need to compute specific energy and critical depth. Now we know that specific energy is given by equation E is equal to Y plus Q square upon 2G A square, and critical depth is given by small q, that is discharge per unit width, Q square upon G raised to 1 by 3. Now for the computation of this, first thing we required a Q. Second thing, we required area of cross section of the channel. So Q is given already in the channel. Second, width of the channel and depth of flow is also given. Next thing, we required area of the channel. So here it is the trapezoidal channel is given. The area of trapezoidal channel can be computed as A is equal to B plus ZY multiplied by Y, where this Z is the side slope of the channel, which can be written as vertical upon horizontal, that is given by 1 by 2. Horizontal upon vertical, that is given by 2 upon 1, and obviously the derivation of this area, which is coming as B plus ZY multiplied by Y, we will discuss in the upcoming lectures while we are going to discuss about the most economical channel section. So right now just simply remember this equation. We will discuss the derivation of that equation, area of the trapezoidal channel, area of flow of the trapezoidal channel. So area of channel is coming out as 10.08 meter square. Now by simply putting that value of area, value of discharge in this required equation and depth of flow which is given as 1.2 meter, we will get the equation value of the specific energy which is coming out as 1.25 meter. Now for the computation of critical depth we need a Q. This Q is the discharge per unit width, can be simply computed as capital Q divided by small b, and value of Q is coming out as 1.667, which is measured in terms of meter cube per second per unit width. So our critical depth 1.667 divided by 9.81 raised to 1 by 3, and after calculation it's coming as 0.611 meter. Let's move to the next numerical. For purpose of discharge measurement, the width of rectangular channel is reduced gradually from 3 meter to 2 meter. So what they have given, for the measurement of discharge, the width of channel has been reduced gradually from 3 meter to 2 meter and the floor is raised by 0.3 meter at a given section. So it is the combination of two transition where the width of channel is also reduced, which was previously 3 meter B1 and B2 is 2 meter. So at section 2 they have reduced width from 3 meter to 2 meter. Again at the same time they also reduce they also raised the bottom of the channel by 0.3 meter up. So at the same section, at the second section they have raised bottom of the channel by 0.3 meter. Now when approaching depth of flow is 2 meter, so whatever the depth of flow previously is 2 meter, and after 2 meter, this is the original depth of flow 2 meter, they have increased the bed level by 0.3 meter. So what they ask, when the approaching depth of flow is 2 meter, what rate of flow will be indicated by the drop of 0.15 meter water surface elevation at the contracted section. So what they have asked, the first thing, if I draw the plan view of this condition, so they have reduced the width of channel something like this, here it is. So they have reduced the channel of cross section, channel of the width of the channel at the section 2. So if I am considering this is my section 2 and this is my section 1, so they have reduced the width of channel. At the same time, if I draw its cross section, so depth of flow something like this. So if this is my channel bottom, so they have just slightly provided hump here having height of 0.3 meter. So due to this, the bottom of the channel has been raised by 0.3 meter. This is the 0.3 meter hump provided at the bottom, and at the same time previously the depth of flow, here my depth of flow was 2 meter. At this location depth of flow was 2 meter, and at this particular section it has been decreased 0.15 meter. Here it is indicating that what rate of flow will be indicated by drop of 0.15 meter in water surface elevation. So there are some changes what they have made. The first thing, they have reduced width of the channel by 3 to 2, that is by 1 meter. There is reduction in the width. At the same time they have provided hump at the bottom where the channel bottom has been raised by 0.3 meter. Now when flow is passing at this particular hump, at that time water surface elevation has been dropped by 0.15, and at the same time they asked to compute the discharge. What is the discharge at this particular section? That is, they asked to compute the value of Q. So we are simply going to compute that value of Q with the consideration of our assumption. What assumption we have considered? That energy in between two sections will remain constant. Now first we will write down all the given data what they have given. So they have given B1 and B2. Again they have given depth of flow Y at section 1, and they have given this raising of the bottom level of the channel, that is by 0.3, that is delta Z 0.3, and again they have given the shown the drop in the water surface elevation by 0.15. So whatever my effective depth or whatever the depth of flow at section 2 will become 2 minus 0.3, that is height of hump, minus 0.15, that is drop in water surface elevation. So my depth of flow at section 2 is becoming as 1.55 meter. Now if discharge is flowing through channel and if the discharge is remain constant at both the location, and if my specific energy is also remain constant, and with that, according to that assumption, if this delta Z is the difference between section energy at specific energy at section 1 and section 2, in that case we can simply compute the discharge by using this equation of delta z, which is given by E1 minus E2. So simply we are going to compute E1 and E2, and we are going to put it in equation of the delta z. So what I am getting here, E1 is equal to y plus q square upon 2g a square. So at section 1 there was no change in depth, so it will remain to y. Q we don't know, we are just simply going to keep it as unknown, q square. Next, G 9.81a, area flow. At section area flow, at section 1, area flow is given by width of the channel, which is given by at section 1 3 meter, multiplied by depth of flow was 2 meter. So here it is 3 multiplied by 2 whole square. Now simply again I am going to compute the specific energy at section 2, which is given by again y plus q square upon 2g a square. Now at section 2, my effective depth of flow is 1.55, because at section 2 we have raised our bottom level of the channel, and at the same time water surface elevation has been dropped by 0.15. So by deducting all those, that is 0.30 plus 0.15, deducting from the original depth of flow at section 1, that is from 2, it is coming as 1.55, plus q square, again it is unknown, we are going to keep it same. Now this discharge will remain same at both the sections, divided by 2 multiplied by 9.81 multiplied by what is width of channel at section 2, that is coming as 2 meter, multiplied by depth of flow at channel section 2, that is 1.55 whole square. Now what we will get, after putting those value of E1 and E2 in the equation of delta Z, what we will get, this delta Z will be equal to E1 minus E2. So I can simply write it as E1 is equal to E2 plus delta Z. So just simply putting this equation for the E1 and E2, just simply putting this equation of E1 and E2 here it is E1, it is E2, and value of delta Z here 0.3. After calculating it, what I am getting for the Q is equal to 6.21 meter cube per second. Hope you understood this, the numerical based on the channel transition. Let's move to the next numerical. So what they have given in this numerical, what they are asked to calculate the possible depth of flow at which discharge of flow, mouse isn't working properly, anyway. So calculate the possible depth of flow at which discharge of 26.67 cubic may be carried in a rectangular channel of 3.5 meter wide with specific energy equal to 2.74. So they are asked to compute two different depths, y1 and y2, which may occur in this particular channel where the flow of discharge or rate of flow is given as 26.67 cubic, that is 27.67 meter cube per second. Sorry, here it is, I have written is meter cube per day. It should be corrected. There are many typing mistakes I am getting in my presentation, so please keep in mind those corrections even while sharing my notes. If you found those correction in the notes, please notice it and please let me know, or you can correct it by yourself as well. So what they asked to compute possible depth of flow in the given channel, which is having width of 3.5 meter and having specific energy, value of specific energy is 2.74 meter. So I am simply going to consider the equation of specific energy, and we can simply compute the value of y by using the equation of specific energy. Now equation of specific energy is given by E is equal to y plus q square upon 2g a square. So by simply putting the value of specific energy and discharge, and the value of area can be written as b multiplied by y. So where y is unknown, so keep that y as it is. So 2.74 is equal to y plus 26.67 square divided by 2 multiplied by 9.81 multiplied by width of channel, that is 3.5 multiplied by y whole square. So after rearranging this equation, I will get the equation as y cube minus 2.74 y square plus 2.96. Now by solving this cubic equation, so this y is having power 3, so which is indicating that there are possible 3 values of the y. So what we are getting, which values we are getting, possible 3 values. The y is equal to 2 meter. After solving, y is equal to 1.6 meter and y is equal to minus 0.9 meter. So y is equal to minus 0.9 meter, practically not possible because depth of flow never be negative. So what we can say that there are only two possible values of the y. Those are the alternate depth that is given by 2 meter and 1.6 meter. Hope you understood this solution where we have computed the alternate depths. Again, go through the numerical, try to solve it yourself. Those are the references which I have used while preparing my presentation. Thank you for watching.